Hi, this is Praveena Sridhar. I am a holistic life coach and an author of Sleep in 5 Seconds. Today, I'd like to tell you a story that will help you sleep faster and sleep peacefully. Hope it helps. Thank you. Today, I'm going to tell you a different story. It's called The Frog Prince. Once there lived a king who had a daughter so beautiful and lovely that when she smiled, even the glorious bright sun was outdazzled. She was a playful child and played with her small golden ball in the palace garden. She had learned to play many tricks with her beautiful ball. She bounced it over a wall, spun it on her fingertip, balanced it on the edge of her nose, and tossed it right in the air and caught it again. One bright morning, she was in a pleasant mood and was playing with her dearest ball in the little forest attached to the vast palace building. Suddenly, she felt that she should try as to how high she could toss the ball in the air. But the ball went up too high and too far. It rustled through the foliage of a big tree and dropped down on the grassy ground, and then rolled over towards the bank of a big pond. Then the sparkling ball slid into the pond water and sank. The princess ran in panic to grab the ball and stop it from moving further, but it was of no help. So she raised a hue and cry on the loss of a precious object. She was crying loudly amid cobs. Oh me, why did it ever happen? I would not have felt any regret if something else had been lost, but this ball was very, very special to me. How could I get it back? Suddenly she was startled when she heard a voice. What is bothering you so much? Please stop this wailing. My heart is sinking. When the princess turned her gaze to the other side, she saw a fat bullfrog with big, bulging eyes squatting on the edge of the pond. It came so close to her that she went away thinking of its big size as rather gruesome, but she kept sobbing, "My bad luck. I have lost a very pretty golden ball which perhaps would never be seen by anyone." It tossed high and then came down, rolled over, and finally fell into this pond. "Don't worry," said the frog, croaked in sympathy. "If you promise to give company to me, become my playmate, and allow me to sleep on your pillow, then I'll dive deep into the pond and bring it out for you." The princess, until now inconsolable, burst with joy and, without minding too much about the conditions put forth by the helpful frog, chuckled, "Oh yes, I promise, I promise." "I feel so lonely living here in this place," the frog said hesitantly. Yes, I've told you that I'll play with you," assured the princess to the obliging frog. "Now, hurry to retrieve my ball from the pond, won't you?" she asked. The frog immediately took plunge into the pond and picked up the ball from a good depth and emerged, squeezing the golden ball in his open mouth. The princess beamed with happiness at the sight of the ball and immediately grabbed it, muttering, "Bah, what if you had used your feet to hold it?" The smudginess of the ball was wiped off as it rolled over the smoothness of the forest grass, and it once again looked bright. The princess started playing with the ball again, tossing in the air and bouncing it over the ground. In this mood, she pranced back towards the palace, unmindful of the promise she had given to the kindly frog. "Please wait, I am also coming along," croaked the green frog, hopping to catch up with her. But his cry fell on deaf ears of the princess. She was merrily back in the palace. In the evening, there was cream pudding for dessert, and the princess filled her bowl to its brim with it. It almost spilled on the table. When she joined her father, the king, over dinner, a slight noise was heard from the stairs that reached up to the royal dining hall. Who made this noise? Everybody thought. It was the same green frog making its way to the dining table by flapping its small feet. Then it hopped and landed right on the side of the princess, almost in easy reach of the cream-filled bowl. "Why did you run away, leaving me behind?" it asked in a resentful tone, with its head tilting and its eyelid blinking in the glare of the illumination in the dining hall. "Out with you! The table is getting spoiled." "Ugh, you carry the smell of the pond," retorted the princess. The frog retreated and replied, "But did you not promise that I could eat off your plate, keep your company, and be your friend?" Now the king annoyingly asked his daughter, "Is it true that you made all this promise to this frog?" The princess had an embarrassing time, but she confessed, "I might have said something." "Then you ought to keep your promise, my girl." The princess bent her head and slipped away from the dining room and scampered to her bedroom. "Wait!" the frog cried out again, leaping down from the table as she made her exit through the big doors. "You promised me to come and sleep beside you on your pillow." The princess was now even in more exasperation, and her eyes turned to her father and then to the frog. "You were being very foolish to make such a promise," the king roared. "But I now expect you to keep your words, my girl." Getting scolded by her father, the princess cried out, "But it's terrible," she whimpered in a choking voice. "It's so disgusting to think of sleeping with a frog. Can't it be helped out, father?" But the king was firm, and that decided the issue. She picked the smutty frog between her fingers, but as soon as she entered her bedroom, she threw it down on the sofa. "You are free to sleep on the sofa and don't try to move, understand?" The frog saw her wistfully as she prepared to go to bed. "Do you really think I'm so disgusting?" he tried to know. "Not really. You also helped me, so I must be thankful to you for that." "Then let me come on your pillow." "No," the princess shouted back. "Do you remember your promise?" No, then I may have to complain to your dad tomorrow. I hardly care who you will tell and what. But how can I allow you to sleep on my pillow?" And saying this, she blew out the candle. "I'll cry out," the frog sounded a warning from the sofa. The princess reluctantly lit the candle again. "If you continue crying like this all night, just because I didn't allow you to sleep on my pillow, then I'll have to allow you to. But keep to your side, please." The frog hopped onto the soft pillow, its throat bulging and croaking. Then it said softly, "Kiss me, won't you?" "No, just once, please." "No." "Oh, please," the frog kept on requesting. "But first I'll blow out the candle." "No, I dread darkness. Just kiss me goodnight." Closing her eyelids, the princess bent a little and kissed the frog, softly and quickly. "Fine, now you can open your eyes," came a pleasing voice from the pillow, and there lay stretched on the bed the most charming young man she could ever imagine, his head resting on one hand and his eyes fixed at her. "Who are you?" she cried out in deep surprise. "I am the Prince of Rana. Years back, when I was only a boy, an evil sorceress cast a spell on me and she turned me into a bullfrog. She said that I would be a frog forever until I was kissed by a beautiful princess. Now you have released me from this curse. So would you please marry me now, as I love you madly?" The princess nodded in approval of his proposal. "Then tomorrow we should visit my kingdom to solemnize our marriage." The following morning, the handsome prince went to the palace, asking the princess' father, the king, to permit him to marry his daughter. The king gladly agreed, and with his blessing, they left for the princess's neighboring kingdom. The people cheered them joyfully when they were taken in a procession to the castle and got married. The princess and her frog prince lived a happy life afterwards. This is the end of the story, and I hope you liked it. Good night.